Guys, welcome to TEPSBEST TV. My name's Mike.
I'm Diane.
And this is the Mike and Diane Show. We're so excited to be back in the studio. We are going to be talking about customer service today. We built our businesses on customer service because we think it's one of the most important things in your business to build on. Diane has showed me a lot about customer service. She's taught me so much about customer service. When we bought Trackside,
I'm all about it.
She is all about it. When we first bought Trackside, that's what we wanted to focus on. Customer service, wanting to know our customer, wanting to know who's coming into the door. Because I know when I go somewhere, I want to be taken care of. It's the truth.
Definitely.
She wants to be taken care of.
I like it all.
She wants to be taken care of. I want to be taken care of. And it's really, really important. So when we go out to different places and establishments or we call someone on the phone, just your credit card company, we want to pick the best company that's going to take care of us because we're spending our money there. We are investing ourselves into that business as we are their customer. So we look at our guests and our customers and clients the same exact way in our business, and it's very important to us. It's actually one of the top 3 that we take care of in the business. You know, like I know that I use American Express as a credit card, and when you call them, a person answers the phone, they get to the problem, they solve the problem, and you just get off the phone feeling excited. You feel like, okay, I was taken care of today. They got right to the point. They ask you, can I do anything else for you? You know, there's certain companies and hotels and resorts and restaurants that they just make you feel a certain way that's why they get repeat business, and that's why they're so successful.
Right, and you look forward to those times to be the same every time. Like, for instance, at Garlic, when you do come in and you're greeted and a welcome back, have you been here before? You take them to their table. You talk about the local art on the walls. As they seat, their server comes over, gives them the specials. You don't ever want to just skip that because they've come in before, even if they've had it. You want them to feel the whole red carpet treatment from start to finish, what your drink of the day is, what the sangria is made with. You want them to feel special every time. There shouldn't be a -1 because they've been in once before.
Yeah, and I really feel like a lot of companies do forget, small and large, forget customer service at a certain point in their business, and I feel like you feel it as the customer, you feel it as the guest. There are some brands that you go there every day, you know, in your own town, and they're amazing. And then you go out of your town and you're like, is this the same company? Because why don't they teach the same things in the same company? And I feel like a lot of places, they do forget customer service, and it's so important in your business. You know, the worst thing for me is when I hire somebody, like an outside company, to come do a service for us, and they tell you a date, but they don't tell you a time. They say, yes, I want to get hired, and then you can't get into contact with them. And then they tell you a time, and then they're a half hour late, and you have to text or call them first to see, where are you? Didn't we set up a time? I feel like the customer is kind of forgotten when you're a business owner. That's how you survive on the customer, the guest.
And not sticking to your commitments. Don't put yourself in a position where you're saying you're going to do something and then you don't. Give yourself enough cushion time that you know you will be able to do what you said you're going to do, instead of having to go back on your word, look stupid, and then have to proceed forward because you're putting just a bad taste in their mouth. Mm-hmm. So instead of saying, okay, I can't get that done tomorrow, but I will get that done immediately next week, at least they'll feel good about that date, and you will too about the time frame.
Yeah. And then you're dealing with these people, you're dealing with these customers, these businesses, and if you call them out on it, it's like you're the bad guy. There's something wrong with me as the client or as the guest or the customer. Like there's something wrong with me because I called you out on it, which, by the way, I like to call everybody out on it because
we get called out.
We get called out all the time. I mean, we get called out for a lot of different things, but our customer service skills, I feel like we always work on them.
Always trying to sharpen them up, for sure.
Always. Yeah, and I have to say, you taught me a lot because I was at Trackside so long, and then I went to Garlic to see how Diane runs Garlic, and it was unbelievable what I learned from you.
Because it is all about the experience. You do go somewhere because you're not just sitting there to eat, have a drink, and leave. It is from start to finish. As soon as you walk in that door, it's supposed to feel special. You're not going to your friend's house for dinner. You're not running into a place. You're at Garlic Prime Steak and Seafood. You want to feel good about the choice you have, whether it's a special occasion or it's a date night or a girls' night. You want to feel good, and I want you to feel good. I'm not doing my job if you don't feel good. I only want people to have the best experience. So whether whoever's right, whoever's wrong, it doesn't even matter, because if my guest isn't having a good experience, I can't. So immediately I'm apologizing because people don't go out to be mad and not have good food, good service, good drinks.
Absolutely. In our media company, we have clients as well, and it's amazing how just customer service can go so far. Sometimes you don't have to nickel and dime your customer, your guest, or your client. You could go the extra mile for them, and you can give something away for free a couple times because they're your client. You're trying to help them, and that's what we do at TEPSBEST. We're always giving and giving because we feel like, okay, the client might not understand because we're in the business, but
we are the professional.
We want them to succeed. We want them to look the best for their brand. So we will give them something for free to open up their eyes and their mind to show them that, wow, they were right. They are the professionals. They do have, in our team.
It's like receiving a free sample. I love free samples of perfume, makeup, whatever it is. I'm more than likely spend the money and buy the full version. Anytime I get a sample of anything or that birthday treat in the mail, I go out and I buy the full one.
Absolutely. That's like the old trick in the malls when the Chinese
really
restaurants or the ice cream, they give you a little shot of ice cream, right, or they give you a taster of the chicken when you're walking by, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to go buy that. It works. So giving, I think it's really important to gain new clients. So we're going off a little off topic here, but it all goes together when you're talking about your customer and your client. And,
and your customer experience, it is all in the details, and everyone's going to have a different way of making their guest feel at ease and feel comfortable where they are. So depending on what works for you and what industry you're in, you're going to know the things that get people going, get them excited, and want them to come back or try you for the first time.
Absolutely. And also, I feel like it is good for your brand when you have good customer service. Your brand is extremely important when you are treating people well. Even like reviews, for example, you always want to answer reviews.
I love reviews.
Good or bad, you want to answer reviews. And I feel like what a lot of business owners do is they get emotional about it because obviously your blood, sweat, and tears went into your business. So when someone reviews it and gives you bad reviews, there's no way, it's really hard to separate that emotional and professionalism when you have to answer back. But I feel like all reviews should be answered, every single one of them, because it just shows good customer service. Now, what you want to do as a business owner, if it's good, you want to read between the lines and say, okay, I'm not that good. You don't want your head to get too big.
100%.
Right. And then if it's bad, you also want to read between the lines, and you don't want to get too upset. You don't want to get too upset with this bad review. You just want to look between the lines, and then you want to talk to your team about both. So when it's good review, you want to talk to your team about it. When it's a bad review, you want to talk to your team about it. Now, you don't want them to read every single word and take it to heart and, walk around with a puss on their face all day, but you have to let everybody know. So if they see that bad review, something in that review happening throughout the day, they can correct it so we can,
I read every single review for all 3 of our businesses, and they definitely change things, what good or bad. When there are good things that are being said, it really, I'm, oh my God, I'm great, I'm the best, but it really, all the learning does come from the negative reviews. And if there is a negative review, which a lot of times is deserving, it's the best to read, this happened, but then this was addressed. So even if it needs to be negative, it's always nice to read something where you know that you tried to fix that situation, or there was a manager there that tried to make something better and really turn that experience around. So I try to do my best with that, but really making things that can go bad, because we're all human and it happens, turn into a positive experience yet again is really what you want to be doing when you're reading those reviews, learning from them and instructing them and taking that to your team to make things better and really move forward in the business.
Wow, she's so hot when she talks business. But I have to say, so with your brand, I feel like a lot of business owners as well, and just people in general, they don't know what a brand is. They think Coca-Cola, they think Amazon, they think Nike, they
Only
think
the
Adidas.
big ones.
That's like what a brand is. No,
5.
guys, you have your own personal brand. You have your personal brand. Everything that you post with if you're a college student and you're posting on Instagram and Facebook, that's your brand. So if you think about that for a second, if you're a college student, you're a high school student, and you're going to go, a high school student going into college, or you're a college student going to go into the workforce, what you are posting on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, that is your brand, guys.
It matters.
It all matters. So when you are putting stuff out there, maybe think about it a little bit more of what you want people to think of your brand. Now, if you're a business, the same thing goes. I really feel like your personal shouldn't mix with your business when you're posting. I know for a fact that your Instagram is your brand. Your Facebook is your brand. Your LinkedIn is your brand. So you want to take care of that, and you want to make your brand the best it possibly could be, because that represents who you are.
And what you can give, like, of course, your own personal brand should be taken very seriously, because that's you, that's yourself, that you're so anybody who is using the tools that are Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, it's such a positive. But then also on the professional end, businesses are looking at those tools as well, and it would be nice to see someone who is doing really big things and getting a really nice message across and representing themselves and their brand in such a way that they're attracted to that, and you might just get that job over someone else, or promoted, or looked to do something else. It just really helps you be well-rounded and get yourself out there, both personally and your business.
Yeah. So branding is so important. Like, I have this, and you're not going to see it because I'm going to blur it out. But these guys aren't paying me, so I'm not going to show you what it is. And I'm obviously you could guess what it is. But branding is everything. Branding is a marathon. Branding is not, let me post 3 days or 3 months or 3 years and that's it. Your brand is longevity. So whatever you want to build your brand on, you have to know. Obviously, you might not have the same thought day one as, year 3, but you guys have to keep in mind your brand the whole time. So as you're building a brand, it doesn't matter if your brand is local. It can go national. It could go statewide. It could be, you don't know what it could be. So you always want to be on your best behavior with your brand and stick to your brand guidelines. It's extremely important with branding.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So it all wraps into customer service, and it all wraps into branding. I feel like TEPSBEST, I didn't name it TEPS Worst. I named it TEPSBEST for a reason, because it always keeps us sharp. It always keeps us ready. And we always want to put out the best product for ourselves and for our clients. Right. So it's extremely important
that people recognize you and your brand and what you are promoting and putting out there. You don't want them to just see a color or some kind of something small. You want them to know what it is, who it is, and everything about it as easily and as fast as possible.
Absolutely. And with your brand as well, it's extremely important to have rules and regulations, and to not go off those rules and regulations.
It's as easy as staying true to yourself.
We have seen a lot of businesses locally around here, not to name any names, but they will put something out that's beautiful, and then, a couple weeks later, they have different branding colors, and you don't even know it's them anymore. While you're building a brand, making these mistakes constantly from your website to your social media, it all has to sync together. Your website is extremely important. So you have to have your colors throughout the same. You have to have your wording throughout the same. You have to have your keywords. You have to talk about this stuff. All this stuff matters, guys. It's 2019. If you don't keep up with this stuff, you're going to get left behind, and it's going to be quick.
Right. There are a lot of options out there, but you really need to stick to who you are, what you are, and know what you're about. So keep that in mind. Even though you might decide next week you like a different color, or you decide you want to do a different logo, remember what you're doing and what you're trying to convey, because that is so important. You don't want to step away from that. So remember, your brand is so important. You do not want to be confusing who you are with somebody else.
And, we're going to wrap this up, guys, but we're so excited to be back. You guys know us from the Hustle Hour.
Yes.
We're super excited to be back. We're in our own studio. We have our TEPSBEST team behind the cameras directing it. I just want to thank Carolyn, Jenna, Nate, and Becca, our team. They're absolutely awesome. We're super excited to be back. We're going to have guests on our show. We're going to be showing you guys exciting, funny things. We're going to take it to the streets this time. You guys are going to hear our name a lot more, and we're super, super excited.
Yes.
So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to TEPSBEST TV. This has been Mike
and Diane.
And this is the Mike and Diane Show, guys. Peace out.